Hello, and welcome to our 10th Energy Chat. I'm Valerie Dudley, a Community Energy Advisor with Cornell Cooperative Extension of Delaware County. And today we're happy to have Terry Carroll with CCE Tompkins tell us about clean energy communities and how Delaware County is investing in future-focused clean energy solutions. Thanks for being here, Terry.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me, Valerie.
I just wanted to start off by asking you, how long has the Clean Energy Communities grant been going on for?
Yeah, so the program started, I want to say towards the end of 2016, and we've been doing it since the beginning of 2017. So, about going on 5 years now.
And how many counties do you cover?
Yeah, so the region, the state is broken up into 10 different regions, and they all go according to the Regional Economic Development Council zones, so the REDC zones. Our particular zone is the southern tier. And so we cover an 8-county region with Steuben and Chemung, Tioga, all of those out to the west of us. And then, all as far east as Delaware County, where you are. And then kind of everything in between. So Tompkins, Broome, Shenango, those counties. So 8 altogether.
Great. And how have communities in Delaware County used the grant funding?
Yeah, so the way the program works is I work with municipalities to basically promote this program. And there's a big list of high impact action items. And if they complete a few high impact action items, they're able to apply for grant funding. And so we've seen them use grant funding for a variety of different things. And I actually have some pictures that I'll share with you and show. So one of my favorite examples is this one here, the town of Hamden, their solar array. And so we worked with the town of Hamden in the first iteration of the program. A couple years ago. We're still working with them today. They were able to get, I believe, $50,000 through the program. And with that funding, they not only replaced, their old boiler, but they also put a solar array on their town hall. And so this is a picture of that solar array. It was installed, I think, beginning of last year. And so it's been cranked away through last summer. It's been, went through the winter, and now we're going into this summer. And it's really done a great job of reducing how much, money they're spending on electricity. So it's been a huge cost saver for the town. Some other great examples that we have, so this one right here is with this is the village of Trumansburg. So they put in some heat pumps. And so you can see that heat pump right there to the right of the window. So they were getting off of a fossil fuel system and putting that in, which has been really cool.
That's a municipal building?
That is a municipal building. That's a village hall.
Looks like a house.
We've seen others put in charging stations. So this is an example of a charging station right here that was put in the town of Veteran over in Chemung County. So that's one example of a station. Another example is this one right here. So this is with the town of Windsor. And so they have a different kind of station that's been installed there. And so both of them are getting a lot of use, which has been really cool to see. And then,
do we have any charging stations in Delaware County that they?
Yeah, there's a bunch of charging stations in Delaware County. So, Hobart, Margaretville, Middletown, Delhi, there's a whole bunch of them around. I can probably, pull up a map on my other screen.
Oh, wow.
While I do that, I'll leave kind of with one of my favorite pictures. And this is, a solar array that we helped install in the town of Veteran. Or help them get the grant funding to do.
Huge.
That's been, it's a big.
And that's powering their municipal building, or
it's
what?
Powering not only their town hall, but it's also powering the town garage. So effectively, we'll see how it goes this summer, but we're expecting that this will essentially bring down their electricity bill to zero, basically.
Wow.
So they'll be paying, next to nothing in electricity, which is really cool, and is obviously really helpful for taxpayer funding.
Does the grant money cover like all of it, half of it?
So the grant funding actually covered this entire station, which is really great to see.
Amazing.
The one that I missed out was the town of Colchester, also has a solar, or not a solar, has a charging station.
So tell us more about the program, the high impact actions.
Yeah, and actually what I'll do here is I'll share my screen again and kind of show this list of high impact actions. So this is, the original program. So, when we talk about the Clean Energy Communities program, there's basically been two programs. There was the first one that we started on, and in that program, there was 10 original actions, and you can see them right here. And in the new program, we've added a couple more new actions. And so the way the program is right now, these are all the actions that you can do within the program. And they range
Oh,
from
okay.
things like, having a municipality adopt the unified solar permit, making it easier for residents to put solar on their houses or in their backyards, or,
Wow.
converting their streetlights from the old high pressure sodium or mercury vapor lights to LED lights, which are going to be a little bit less energy intensive and save them a ton of money by doing that.
Hmm.
Clean fleets, installing those charging stations or buying electric vehicles, which we've started to see some municipalities do. And then now a couple of new actions, things like community campaigns in the New York stretch code. So, the stretch code is, municipalities deciding that they're going to enforce an energy code that's a little bit better than the current energy code, about 10% better. And then the community campaigns actions are actually where municipalities are starting to, work either with partners or on their own, promote, energy actions that their residents can take. And so those actions can be, encouraging their residents to sign up for community solar, or to install heat pumps or do energy efficiency work in their homes, or buy an electric vehicle, participate in a demand response campaign. And that has had a huge amount of appeal for a lot of communities in Delaware County. So we've seen a bunch of communities start to partner with groups like Transition Catskills or the Network for a Sustainable Tomorrow, and really start to put on these campaigns and say to their residents, hey, if you've ever thought about community solar, here are your options. Here's how you can do it. If you've ever wanted to get help, installing a heat pump in your home, here's who you can talk to. And if enough residents participate, the community gets, credit for doing the action, and they can get, basically $5,000 in grant funding, which is, going to lead to even more actions being accomplished, which has been really great to see.
Wow. So what are some of the other things, like what's PACE financing?
Yeah, so PACE financing is an action that's available only really to counties and cities. And essentially what that does is it makes it easier for commercial businesses that want to do energy retrofits to find funding. So a big issue with commercial buildings is, if you are a tenant of a building, or you're just, you're in a building right now, but you might be moving to a bigger one down the line if your building, if your business takes off, you might be a little reluctant to do improvements to the current building you're in because you will maybe never get to see the return on investment. What the PACE financing does is that it connects the actual improvements to the building itself. So when you move on, those improvements that, the loan that you took out for the improvements to that building are going to stay with the building itself,
Hmm.
and be paid back, essentially, in concert with the property taxes. So it's a really great opportunity for, counties to provide their businesses, their commercial entities with a new way to basically look for financing these energy projects. So, that's a really cool one.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else we got on your list? What's benchmarking?
Benchmarking, that's actually one of my favorite actions. So the benchmarking action is essentially what we're looking to see municipalities do, is to log how much energy they're using, month to month, year to year in their buildings, and keep track of
Mhm.
it. And it's amazing what you'll find once you start doing this. I mean, as a homeowner, other homeowners, they might realize that if you're tracking your energy usage, it can be eye-opening sometimes just how much money you are spending in certain months, and it can really lead to you thinking about, okay, what improvements we want to make. It's the same thing for municipalities. And so what we have found, working with municipal buildings is, a lot of the times the bill comes in, you pay it, you don't really think about, oh, this month maybe it was a little bit higher than last month, but you don't really put it all together. But when you start benchmarking and you can look, January, February, March, through the entire year, you can see, okay, what are the months that we're spending more money? Where are we spending less? And you can see, year to year as well, like, wow, this year we spent a lot more money heating the building than we did last year. Was it a colder year, or is our heating system having issues? So it can be a
Mhm.
great diagnostic tool to find out, are we maybe seeing a system that's starting to break down that should be replaced? Or, my favorite example, we were working with a town who had been told that, you know, they were going to get this new heating system, they were going to get off of fuel oil, they were going to move to propane, it was going to save them a whole bunch of money. And we benchmarked when they had the fuel oil, and then we did it the next year when they had the propane. And the costs ended up being just about the same, even though the winter wasn't really that different, you know, from year to year. And what they had found out was, you know, the contract, you know, didn't really go the way they thought it was going to go, that they weren't actually saving that much money by moving over to propane. So it was disappointing for them, but, you know, this is the importance of kind of, you know, validating whether the improvements that we're making are actual improvements, or whether we don't know. And so definitely one of my favorite actions, something that I really encourage municipalities to take a look at.
Yeah.
Really think about
And then
doing.
hopefully then you can, if you do make an improvement like solar or renewable, you can see hopefully how much it does save you, like you're talking about with, you know, the municipalities. So,
Yeah. And actually what I can do right now on my computer, I'll go, so the town of Hamden is a great example of a community that is benchmarking right now. And so we worked with them to do some of this benchmarking. If you go to their website, I just brought it up on my other screen. So that if you go to their website, so this is the town of Hamden website, you'll see this CEC annual benchmarking report. You know, and if you click that, you can open that report. I'll open it up on my computer, and then I'll show it to everyone. And in that report, it's really cool because you will see right there, you can see 2019, you know, this was the year before they started using, before the solar arrays were put in. And then midway through 2020, the solar arrays were put in, and you can see it cut the electricity in half. You know, they went from spending $1,300 down to $700, you know, so a 48% change. You know, they got a new boiler that was a little bit more efficient, so they're using less fuel, you know, oil at their town hall than they used to be, you know, which is a great change, you know, about 15% less. You know, same thing, you know, with the electricity at their town hall, at their town garage. And so, you know, this is a great example for benchmarking and for solar, you know, for doing that. Where we see a building that, you know, and this year, once this year is done, 2021, and they add that in, it's going to look even better because they will have had a full year of solar. And what we'll probably see is, you know, this $700 will probably, you know, it could even be in the double digits if we're lucky. So it's pretty cool to see that stuff.
So does the grant provide funding for people to take the time to gather all the information and then put it in a report?
So that's a lot of what we do is, you know, we work with these municipalities to try and make it as easy as possible. So on our website, and I can show a picture of that as well. What we've done is we've put together some resources to make this as easy as possible for communities to do. So this is our Southern Tier CEC website. It's southerntiercec.org. You'll see that essentially, you know, we have a whole bunch of videos, podcasts, and webinars, and one of those is on benchmarking. So if we click on benchmarking right here, you know, we have a lot of information about the actions, but the other thing that we did is we put together all of these videos. And so how to create a portfolio manager account, you know, how to add a property to the account, how to add, you know, a meter, how to start putting in energy use. And so in each of these videos, you know, there's 6 parts to it, and each of them is about, you know, 3 to 4 minutes long. And so, you know, you can go through it all in one shot, or if you're starting to do it and then you know, haven't done it for a couple of months and you forget, you can just click one of these, or you can look at the PowerPoint and it'll give you a walkthrough how to do it. So what we've done is we've worked a lot with the municipalities to teach them how to do this, and then provide this as an ongoing resource in case they need those reminders. So that's just one of the things.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, so it's just one of the many great things I think that we have on our website. You know, we have information about the new round of the program, the leadership round.
What's the leadership round?
So that's the new version of the program where there's the new actions and everything, and the new funding. So we have, you know, in addition to the benchmarking videos, you know, we've hosted some webinars. So a webinar on what that leadership round is, a webinar on the community campaigns, you know, and how to get involved in the community campaigns. Another one on the New York stretch code. So we have a lot of great resources there. We also have some
stretch codes is when they're improving the energy by 10%.
Requiring the new buildings to be built a little bit better. We also put out a newsletter, you know, a quarterly newsletter every month, and you can see, you know, we have it for, you know, going way back, you know, spring, summer, fall, winter. We're I think we just put out a spring one that's going to be up there soon as well. So a lot of great information there. We encourage people to sign up for our newsletters, to sign up for getting our emails, and we provide a lot of great information. I think not only to municipalities, but we try and provide it to anyone that's interested.
Mhm. Wow. Can you tell me a little bit about the heat pump initiatives that you guys are doing, or campaigns? Because
Yeah.
yeah, in our community energy engagement program, that we recently had a grant, the heat pump study. So we've been talking to people about heat pumps, which are kind of new to not a lot of people, or maybe most people, not everybody, but for northern areas. So
Yeah,
that's kind of,
absolutely. So, we're working with a bunch of groups around the southern tier. And in Delaware County, it's, often Transition Catskills or the Network for a Sustainable Tomorrow, NEST. And
Mhm.
and obviously with the Clean Energy Engagement Program through Cooperative Extension. And what we're doing is we're working with municipalities, where municipalities are going to help get this information out to residents and say, hey,
Mhm.
residents, here are the options for if you want to, do energy efficiency work, or if you want to install heat pumps. Here are some of the people doing it. Here are some stories about how it's done. And most of all, here are some resources. If you have questions, if you need assistance, this is who you can talk to. And these people are going to help walk you through kind of, what the basic steps are, what are the things that you need to look for in a quote, what might work, what might not work. They'll teach you the basics of, what is a heat pump? How does it work? Is it going to work for my house? Is it something that I want to consider? And what we found is that, for basically anyone that's on propane or fuel oil, or coal, or even wood to an extent, switching to heat pumps can definitely save them money in most cases. And so it's definitely something that they want to take a look at. And, I myself did it a couple years ago. I've been really happy with how that's turned out. Really encourage others to take a
Yeah.
look at it. And hopefully we'll see a lot of our municipalities, not only in Delaware County, but throughout the southern tier, really doing an effort to make sure that their residents are aware that this is an option, and that there's some incredible incentives available through the state right now to get these. Right? The state had a
Yeah.
low income program where they were basically giving these away for free. So, we
Yeah.
want to make sure people are aware of that.
Yeah, and they're energy efficient and they're good for the environment, because is the carbon footprint, it's not zero, but it uses just electricity and it doesn't burn anything.
Yeah,
So if you had
exactly.
solar coupled with a heat pump, that would be best case scenario.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I mean, if you combine the solar with the heat pump, and your heat pump's running just on the solar, yeah, I mean, you basically have reduced your emissions to zero there. But, in addition to the footprint, the environmental footprint, even the human health component side of it, not having combustion equipment in your house, not having to worry about methane, leaks, not having to worry about carbon monoxide, for instance, it can give peace of mind. It's been shown to have impact, especially with people with asthma, children with asthma. So it's worth considering on that side, as well as all
Mhm.
the environmental benefits that you were talking
Yeah,
about.
all pluses, no negatives.
Yeah, so definitely want to make sure you have someone that does it right. But as long as they're installed correctly and they're well sized for your house, they really do such a fantastic job.
Yeah, that's really exciting for the future and for now. Do you have anything else about the program you wanted to share with our watchers?
No, I would just say, if your municipality, isn't involved yet or is considering getting involved, absolutely encourage them to reach out to us, to talk to us. We're always here to try and help out if we can, to see
Mhm.
what we can do to provide that technical assistance. I'll flash up on the screen right now. So this is kind of where we were as of spring 2021. And you can see, the yellow
Yeah.
communities are the ones that have been are what are called designated. They've completed 4 actions. They've gotten some amount of money in grant funding. And so we have a bunch in Delaware County.
Yeah.
And those blue, dots represent communities that are active. They haven't quite gotten to the grant funding yet, but they're on their way there. So, we're definitely going to continue to push the program as much as we can, so that, we can turn these blue dots into yellow dots. And then places where you might, not see any dots, we want to make sure that they're involved as well. So, hopefully at some point, every dot on this is yellow, and that you'll just see, a plethora of yellow dots everywhere. So,
Wonderful.
you
That
know,
is so exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll put I forgot to put, but I will put your contact info in the comments section.
Absolutely.
Yep. And so, yeah, and I'll just tell people it's Terry Carroll. He's an energy educator for clean energy communities. Email is tc629@cornell.edu. There you go. 607-272. Oops, you got a different number.
Yeah, I end up giving
345.
my cell phone number to folks. So yeah, so you can call me directly.
Because you're working from home, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and especially, if you're in Tompkins, Tioga, Broome, Shenango, Delaware County, give me a call and we'll see if we can help you. And if you're, watching from a little bit further to the west, Chemung, Schuyler, Steuben, Tioga counties, you can talk to my colleague Todd, who's doing a great job on this as well.
All right. Well, Terry, thank you so much for letting us know about this great program.
Yeah.
And if people are interested, I'm a community energy advisor for community energy engagement program. And so if you would like some information about smart energy choices, what programs are available for energy efficiency, solar options, and renewable energy, you can contact me at 607-865-6531. And my email is V as in Victor, S as in Sam, D as in David, 22@cornell.edu. And I will put my contact information in the comments as well. And so, yeah, this energy chat is brought to you by a grant with NYSERDA, and information about energy incentives can be found at smartenergychoices.org. And thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.